Astronauts in space hear a loud noise from above. The same noise is heard after years when a group of friends goes camping. They soon learn aliens have come to Earth and are doing weird experiments. The beginning of the movie, astronauts were shown on a space station. They were replacing old parts as part of their regular checks. Suddenly, a huge object came close to the space station, making a loud noise that scared the astronaut. The noise hurt their ears so much that they thought their eardrums might burst. In the next scene, several years later, a group of young students, Rob, his girlfriend Kara, Charlie, Brendan, and Annie, were heading to a farmhouse in the forest for a camping trip. On the way, they stopped at a gas station. Brendan saw blood on a vehicle and tried to look at it. The vehicle's owner, a hunter, suddenly showed up, grabbed Brendan and started threatening and hitting him. Charlie came over and stopped the fight. The group quickly got back in their car and drove away. They arrived at the farmhouse and put their things inside. Then, 3 of them went to explore the forest. They found a river, spring, and some beautiful views. They also discovered a small abandoned hut and decided to go inside, even though they didn't know much about the place. Inside the hut, they saw many animal heads, which made them think the hut belonged to a hunter. Further in, the girl found military communication equipment, which surprised them. They noticed pictures on the walls and were shocked to see that the hut belonged to the same man they had fought at the gas station. In the pictures, he was dressed as an astronaut. Before they could see anything else, they saw the hunter's vehicle outside. They quickly escaped through a window. The hunter couldn't follow them because a log was blocking his way. They all got back to the farmhouse and saw a breaking news report on TV. It was reported that a storm of strange black clouds had started appearing in the sky all over the world. At first, people ignored this news. Later, they noticed a black cloud near their area and began taking pictures of it. The scene changed to a US military base, where they also discussed the black cloud. It was revealed that the black cloud was not actually a cloud, but an alien spaceship. This meant that aliens were arriving on Earth. From their discussions, it became clear that the aliens had already come to Earth and had been seen up close by 2 astronauts. One of these astronauts was called in for questioning. The astronaut, who was being held by the US military at the time, explained that the aliens had kidnapped him and conducted a very strange experiment. Earlier in the story, we saw 2 astronauts who had heard a very loud noise. It was the sound of an alien spaceship, and at that moment, the aliens had kidnapped. After the experiments, the aliens suddenly released them and they returned to Earth. They shared their experiences, but news reports about them led people to believe they had gone mad. No one believed their story. The scene shifted back to the present, where the astronaut, prisoner Romanovich, was telling his story to the US military. They learned that an alien ship was now hovering over their military base. The scene changed back to the forest, where something had come out of the spaceship and landed there. A hunter in the forest observed this from a distance. We then learned that the hunter, who was Colonel McCallan, was the second astronaut who had been experimented on by the aliens. As the 2 astronauts landed on the ground, they began acting strangely, as if they were having panic attack. In the forest, an alien landed outside the farmhouse where the college group was staying. When a girl saw the alien, she froze and then fainted. Her friends rushed to help her, and she soon woke up. They had set up motion sensors around the house to alert them if any animals came near. The sensors showed someone was coming. When they looked closer, they saw that Colonel was near their house. Rob went outside to find Colonel, but by the time he got there, Colonel had disappeared, so Rob went back inside. When Rob came back in, he saw a sticky substance outside and, scared, ran into the house. They then saw many aliens around their house, which scared them a lot. Suddenly, they heard a noise from the kitchen. When they went to check, they found an alien drone that looked like a jellyfish. It was floating around as if it was checking the house. They were all scared, but the drone left without harming them. The biggest problem was that an alien had also entered their house. Rob started shooting at it. In the chaos, one of his bullets hit his friend Kara. They tried to get Kara to safety quickly, but by the time they reached the garage, she had died. This tragedy upset Rob so much that he lost control. Overcome with grief for killing his friend, he began shooting at his other friends too. Then, Charlie had to hurt his hand to stop him. They panicked and started running away. Rob, who was not in the car with them, suddenly appeared in front of their car with his pistol. He still wanted to kill them, But as they turned their car to avoid him, the car lost balance, slipped, and fell off the hill. Luckily, they survived. They quickly got out of the car. At that moment, the alien spaceship came down right above Rob and took him inside. Rob had been following them to kill the three of them. Seeing this, the three friends panicked and ran away. Suddenly, one of their group members fell into a trap, making them even more anxious. The trap was set up by Colonel, and they could hear the sound of an alien nearby. They were scared, but fortunately, Colonel arrived and freed the boy from the trap. Knowing there was an alien around, Colonel then quickly vanished. The alien, who was getting closer to the group of children, got caught in another trap set by Colonel. Colonel was thrilled to have caught the alien. In his excitement, Colonel also rescued the children and took them to his hut. After treating their wounds, he began to tell them the secrets about the aliens. For thousands of years, aliens have been kidnapping humans and performing experiments on them. After these experiments, they returned the humans to Earth. One of the most surprising facts was that humans, or Homo sapiens, were created as a result of these alien experiments. Aliens had created humans from single-celled organisms. Over time, due to the aliens' experiments, humans evolved a lot, and the aliens kept experimenting on them. The aliens had also made Colonel their target. They experimented on him and then left him in the middle of the desert. During the experiment, they erased all his memories. He didn't remember anything at first, but over time, his memories started coming back. Now, due to those experiments, he had the power of telekinesis, which meant he could move things with his mind. A boy asked why the aliens were doing these experiments. Colonel explained that just as humans send monkeys to other planets to check if they are safe for humans, the aliens are creating humans like themselves to see if they can survive on Earth. They wanted to take over Earth. The aliens' home planet was very hot because the sun was too close to it. That's why they often carry out their actions and attacks at night. Colonel said that when he remembered everything from the experiments, he tried to tell the US military, but no one believed him. He retired from his job and dedicated his life to stopping the alien. Colonel had already known that the aliens would come to Earth and kidnap many people to make them like him. Now that he had an alien, he wanted to take revenge by experimenting on it himself. But before he could start, another alien arrived with its drone. The alien made a terrible noise that hurt everyone's heads and ears, especially Colonel's, because the alien was using this sound to torture him. Exhausted, the three children decided to leave Colonel's hut. They had to leave one of their injured friends behind, so the other two went out alone. Once outside, the alien spaceship pulled them inside. When Charlie woke up, he found himself in a place where many other humans were kept, and alien drones were guarding them. Charlie managed to escape and looked for his friend Annie. He also found his injured friend Granny, who had been brought here from the hut and had part of his body turned into a machine. Seeing this, Charlie felt very sad. He walked a bit further and saw that the aliens were experimenting on human hearts. As he moved along, he also saw his other two friends, who were in the same condition. The lower parts of their bodies had been turned into machines. The aliens were about to do the same to his friend Annie. But just in time, Charlie saved Annie. An alien noticed and captured him, making him unconscious. After a while, the alien started experimenting on Charlie too while locking him inside a machine. This made Charlie lose consciousness. When he woke up, he found himself back on Earth. He had no clothes on, and he had a mark on his body similar to Colonel's. The aliens had stamped him after their experiments, found some clothes, put them on, continued. Charlie soon met Annie, who was in the same state with an alien stamp on her. The entire group was in the same forest, in similar conditions. They put on clothes, reunited, and made their way back to the farmhouse. Annie learned from the news that the aliens had landed on Earth, kidnapped many humans, and then returned them. The aliens had left marks on their bodies, and if any experiments had been done, the humans didn't know about them. The news also reported that the US military now saw these humans as a threat and ordered their arrest. The group knew they would be arrested soon because of the alien marks on their bodies. They hurried to their homes, but on the way, police stopped them. Just before they were caught, Charlie realized he had telekinesis powers. He used these powers to grab the police officer's gun and attack. Police fired back, killing many of Charlie's friends. In response, Charlie killed all the police officers. Annie, who was injured, suddenly healed herself, revealing she had a healing power. She then healed all her friends, bringing them back to life. This showed that they were immortal, could never die. In the final scene, the same black clouds that the alien spaceship had come from were seen hovering over Earth, just as the three had seen before. The movie ended here.